making your way to your mat, let's come into your seated position, right, either on your shins or cross-legged, whatever is working best for you today. All right, take a few big, deep, full breaths. Kind of settling into the space. All right, settling into your body. Settling into what we'll be doing for these next 55 minutes. Cool, let's start moving through the shoulders from here. So as you inhale, take the arms up and overhead, reach up nice and tall, stretch, reaching through the shoulders, reaching through the spine, and then exhale, bring those hands back by your side. We'll do 2 more like that. Inhale to reach up, stretch out the body as high as you can, and then exhale, bringing it back down. 1 more inhale to really reach. Good, exhale, bring it back down from here. Good, and then we're gonna go through more arm circles. So bring those arms out in front and make a big circle with the arms, reaching back behind you by your side, back out in front here. We'll go 1 more time in this direction, reaching up, back, down, and forward. And then let's go the opposite way. So reach back behind you, up, forward, and down. Good, 1 more time. Down, behind, up, and forward. Nice, we'll shake those out a little bit. You're gonna come into your tabletop position. So actually, I'll stay in this position. We'll work through our wrists to start, since we will be doing a lot on the hands and wrists. So those arms are straight, rocking the shoulders side to side. All right, take the fingers back towards the knees for a moment. Arms stay straight, rock back towards the heels and forward. Cool, bringing them back to your normal position, the back of the hand down into the mat to massage it into the floor. Get that opposite flexion in the wrists. You're making a fist. Good, bring it back through center on the other hand. Massage it down into the mat, make some half circles with the hand, and then try to make a tight fist. Good, bringing it back through center from here. Hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. Let's inhale to drop the belly, lift the chest, draw the chest forward and through, looking up, shoulders pull down. And then exhale, tuck the chin around the spine, pressing the floor away. 2 more like that. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, really exaggerating that movement in the spine. Exhale, tuck the chin around the spine. Go 1 more time. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Good. Exhale, tuck the chin around the spine. Nice. From here, come into your puppy pose. So we'll take that neutral spine, reach the arms out towards the front of the mat as much as you can. The arms will stay straight. Don't let those elbows bend, but the arms stay straight. Maybe the forehead comes down to the ground. Maybe your chin is down to the ground. Wherever you are, right? Trying to draw the chest further through the shoulders. Feeling that stretch in the shoulders. Maybe a little rock to one side, rock to the other side. And then getting a little more in the one shoulder and then the other. Yeah, and finding your way through center. Let's come into your Sphinx pose. So shift forward, forearms down on the mat. Let those hips drop. Forearms and the hands pressing into the floor to lift the chest. Let's take your right ear towards the right shoulder, stretching out that left side of the neck. Take the chin in towards the armpit, looking up. or down, either way. Feel the difference in the stretches. All right, let the chin come all the way to your chest and rock it over to the other side. So left ear to the left shoulder. So maybe your chin tucks in a little, the chin looks up, wherever you are. Good, inhale. We'll bring it back through center. Cool, and I'd like to keep the forearms down on the mat here. So we're gonna work our way up into a forearm plank, but I want you to listen to each step by step here. So the hands are gonna press down into the mat. Pull the hands away from one another as the elbows pull in. So you feel that engagement of your scapula pulling into the rib cage here. The toes can tuck from the start. And we're gonna kind of roll up off the mat, starting with your lower rib cage and then working down the body. So try to engage the core, pull the lower rib cage away from the mat, pull the belly button away from the mat. As you keep getting the core tighter and tighter, squeezing it, the hips will start to lift, and then you'll be in your plank with your knees on the ground. Toes are tucked. Feel free to stay with your knees on the ground, or maybe straighten the legs as well. All right, so we're in our forearm plank. Keep that rib cage pulling up and in, the belly button pulling up and back. All right, the neck a neutral extension of the spine. We'll hold for another 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower those hips back down. We're in our Sphinx pose. We're gonna lower the chest all the way down here. Let's take our chest stretch. Your right arm reaches out to the right side. We're gonna roll over to the outer edge of that right hip. Good, opening up through the chest. Maybe the left hand stays in front. Maybe it goes behind the lower back or reaches towards that opposite hand. Wherever you are, the chest is nice and open here. Oh. Right, the chest gets really tight on us here, so it's always a good idea to open that up first before we engage the back muscles so that there's nothing holding us back here. So the left arm goes straight out to the left. Roll over to the outer left hip, right foot behind. Maybe that right hand behind the lower back as well. Breathing for another 3, 2, and 1. Roll it back over onto the stomach. All right, we have our hands by our side. We'll go locust pose as you inhale. Reach up or lift up the chest. The hands will stay down on the floor. The tops of the feet are down on the floor. Open the chest a little wider. Good, exhale, forehead to the mat. Let's this time lift the hands away from the floor. Inhale to lift the chest, lift the hands away from the floor. Shoulders pull back. Good, exhale, forehead down. This time we'll lift the feet as well, so we're just trying to balance on the front of our hips here as much as you can. Inhale, the chest comes up, the hands pull back, the toes are reaching towards the back of the room. Opening the chest, feel the back engage for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, lowering it back down from here. Cool. Let's come back into that Sphinx pose. So the forearms are coming under the body, palms facing down. Same thing, pull the hands apart, the elbows pull in. We're going to come up to that forearm plank in that same fashion. So start to engage the core. Your lower rib cage and the belly button comes away from the ground. Squeeze and tighten a little more. The hips will come away from the ground. The knees are now left on the ground. Toes are tucked. Straighten those legs. Come up to your forearm plank. Cool, we'll hold again for 3, 2, and 1. Take your right hand to the floor, press up to your high plank onto your left hand, and then we'll take it back to our downward facing dog. All right, take some time to pedal out that back side of the body, bend one knee, feel the opposite heel closer to the mat, let the rib cage shift, let the hips shift, maybe make some circles here, anything that feels good for you and your body. And then starting to find a little bit of stillness from here. Let's bend through both knees. Really get the chest as close to the thighs as you can. The spine is straight. The hips are lifting high. And then we're going to inhale as you shift forward through your high plank. The shoulders are coming forward over the wrists. Keep the core nice and engaged the way that we picked it up off the ground in our forearm plank. Good. Exhale. Bring it back to that down dog. Good. As we inhale, let's shift it forward again. High plank. Good. Exhale. Down dog. And let's see, inhale, shift forward, high plank. We're going to pause and hold here. Maybe take those feet a little wider. That's going to help you stabilize. The shoulders are coming over the wrists. And I want you, as you keep the torso and the hips as still as possible, take your right hand away from the ground, tap your left shoulder, and then put it back down on the ground. And we'll do the same. Left hand to your right shoulder, bring it back down. We can keep alternating between the two. Try to keep the body as still as you can. Going from your right to your left, right, left, right, left. 3 more, right, left, right, left. Keep those hips still. Last one, right, left. Go. Take it back to your downward facing dog. Getting that core firing up. Let's bend through the knees, look to the front of the mat, step it forward into your fold. Let's inhale to a halfway lift with a flat back. Exhale to fold. And then inhale all the way up, hands overhead, reaching tall. Nice. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold it back down. Get the full body involved here, feeling the stretch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way up, hands overhead, reaching tall. Good. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale to your halfway lift, flat back. Exhale to fold. And then inhale all the way up, hands overhead, reaching tall. Let's interlace the hands together this time so the pointer finger points straight up towards the ceiling, biceps frame the ears. As we exhale, we'll take our side stretch, bend it over to the right. Good. Inhale, bring it back through center. Exhale, bend it over to the left. Let's go one more each side. Inhale through center. Exhale over to the right. Let your hips shift. Good. Inhale, bring it back through center. Exhale over to the left. Good. Inhale, bring it back through center. As we exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Let's inhale to our halfway lift. And then exhale, hands to the mat. We're going to step that right foot back behind you and lower the back knee down. So we can give a few rocks front to back to start. Just kind of warming up through the hips and the back of that leg. Nice. Good. And then take your half split. Straighten that front leg so we'll get the hamstring stretch. Heel digs into the ground, toes point up. All right, flex the toes towards the body. Try to engage this front side of the leg as much as you can. All right, so the quads engaged, the tibia muscles engaged. Lengthening through the spine. Exhaling, stretching through the hamstring. Good, and then we'll bend into that knee, come into your low lunge. So hips come up, square off. Hips come forward and down, either hands to the top of the thigh or arms overhead. Good. As we exhale, take this into your back bend. Let the hips shift forward. Open the chest to the ceiling. Good. And then inhale. Let's bring it back up through center. Exhale, hands to the mat. Tuck the toes under. We're just stepping forward. Right foot to meet your left into your fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, hands overhead, reaching tall. Let's exhale, hinge at the hips, fold it back down. Inhale, halfway. Good. Exhale, hands down. That left foot's going to step back, lower the back knee down, and we'll rock it front to back a few times. Ooh. All right, warming up through the hips, the back of the leg. Maybe you've been sitting a lot already today. Oh, was doing a lot of computer work right before class, so legs, hamstrings, hips seem a little extra tight right now. Cool, nice. On your next exhale, let's pause in our half splits. So maybe as I do shift fully into my half splits, I like to try to walk that front heel further forward. Maybe you can do that for yourself as well. Flexing the toes towards the body. Again, that whole front side of the leg engaged. So toes, the foot is totally flexed towards the body. Tibia muscles engaged. Trying to squeeze that quadricep muscle and just engaging the quads as you do that. That helps the hamstring release a little further if you have that control of the muscles in your legs. Good, and then on your inhale, bend into the knee. Take it to your low lunge. All right, hips are squared off. Again, either staying with your hands on your top of the thigh. All right, maybe the arms overhead. Again, deep, full breaths in, full breaths out. Good. All right, so take that into your back bend. Open the heart and chest cactus. The arms look up towards the ceiling. Squeeze the shoulder blades down the back. And then inhale, bring it back through center. Exhale, hands to the mat. Tuck the back toes under. Step the left forward to meet the right into your fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands overhead, reaching. Good. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Forward fold. Cool. This is where we'll start to pick up the pace a little. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step it back into your high plank. All right, pausing, shifting the shoulders forward, and like a push-up here. So if you can't do your straight push-up, lowering the knees to the ground also works. We'll bend through the elbows, lower down halfway, and then press back up to your high plank. This time we'll lower down halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog, draw the chest forward and through the arms. Good, exhale to your downward facing. Let's inhale the right leg up. Stepping in between the hands. We'll come up high crescent to start. All right, keep that back heel lifted. Good, hips squared off, sinking forward and down. Let's exhale to open up through your warrior two. Turn that back heel down. Just for 2 breaths. So inhale the front palm up, face ceiling. Exhale, reverse, reach it up and back. Good, and then inhale to cartwheel the hands forward and down to the mat. Step it back to your high plank. I'd like an extra push-up if you can, so lower down halfway. Press it up, lower down. Inhale, upward facing. And then exhale to your downward facing. Let's see, inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it in between the hands. Let's come up high crescent to start. Right, setting up that good posture. Shifting the hips forward, sinking down, bending into the front knee. Arms reach tall. Good, exhale, open up to your warrior two. Back foot parallel, front knee over the ankle. Trying to take a deep bend into the front knee. Good, inhale that front palm up, face ceiling. Exhale to reverse, reach it up and back. So then inhale, cartwheel the hands forward and down to the mat. Step it back, high plank. Lower down through your chaturanga, press it back up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale up. Exhale, downward facing. We'll go through that same short sequence. One more time, one breath, one movement. Inhale that right leg up. Exhale, step it in between the hands. Inhale, high crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, front palm up. Exhale to reverse. Inhale, cartwheel the hands forward and down to the mat. Step it back, high to low plank. Push up, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Let's inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it in between the hands. Inhale up, high crescent. Whew. Nice, exhale, warrior two. Inhale the front palm up, exhale, reverse. Good, inhale, cartwheel the hands forward down to the mat. Step it back to your high plank. Give me a push up here. Right, lower down. Inhale up. Exhale, downward facing. Nice, take a couple of breaths here. Catch the breath, maybe stretch out the backs of the legs a little more. Anything that feels good. Cool, and then from this downward facing dog, I'd like you to take a deep bend through the knees and try to sit the hips back towards the heels. So almost like you're coming into a hovering child's pose, or at least as close to it as you can. From that hovering child's pose, I want you to explode forward into your high plank. So a little bit quicker of a motion here. Take it back to the hovering child's pose, and then high plank. Almost like a little jump there, taking it back. Forward, high plank. Hovering child's pose, high plank. One more, hovering child's, high plank. Good, from your high plank, push up, lower down, inhale, upward facing. Good, exhale to your downward facing. Good, this time bring it forward onto the toes, shift forward through your high plank. I'd like you to come down to your forearm. So left forearm down, right forearm down. Good, keeping the body in a nice straight line here, the core's engaged. You give a little rock front to back. So rocking on your toes, shifting those shoulders forward and then back. Like a jigsaw here. Good, for another 3, 2, and 1. Good, take that left hand down to the mat, right hand to the mat. Take it back to your downward facing dog.
Thank you for watching Kula Wellness on YouTube. Please consider subscribing by clicking on the subscribe button below.